What's up? What's up, everybody? We are live with another unboxing. Too many records, opening too many records. I am excited because I think there are some absolute bangers in here from what I recall. As you all know, when I buy records, it kind of becomes a blur, and I forget everything I get. But we have quite a few to open today, so I am looking forward to seeing what's in here, looking forward to talking to everybody. It's been a minute. I feel like I haven't had a lot of time for YouTube these days. The store has been taking up quite a bit of my time, which is a good thing. But I would like to get back to YouTube as soon as possible with a few series that I have planned. I have a couple evergreen videos that I would like to work on when the time arises. But today, the live stream takes precedence because I have just a mountain of boxes that are ready to be opened. What's going on, Nick? I'm glad you can make it. I was worried that this later time slot wouldn't be good for you, but cheers. We will, I guess, wait for a few other people as usual to trickle in, and then we'll get started. A lot to get through today, so I don't know how much Q&A we'll do during the process. As always, if you wanted to throw me a super chat, I will, as per my own rules, stop what I'm doing and answer your question to the best of my ability, and also greatly appreciate you tipping me as a creator. But, yeah, we have a lot of records to get through, and let's talk about them. So, what's up, Corey? What's up, Nikki? How's it going, y'all? I feel like the YouTube concurrent viewers thing doesn't update in real time. It kind of just like bounces all over the place. So I guess we can just get started. I feel like people miss stuff all the time in the stream, right? So they got to go back anyway. So, all right, let's just get started then and see what's going on. See what records I have today. Oh, this is a cool one. This was a very unexpected repress. So this is the Baz Luhrmann Great Gatsby movie soundtrack. So this, I believe, was out of print for a very, very long time. I mean, I don't know if there's multiple variants of the OG or if they're all kind of very hard to find. But this soundtrack at some point is going for $400 or $500. The packaging is nice, as it should be for a Gatsby-related thing, all glitzy and glammy with the gold foil on the front and on the back. Really nice. It's on gold nugget vinyl, as it should be. And this is just an iconic soundtrack for quite a few reasons. I mean, there's just an absurd amount of people on here. You got Jay-Z, you got Beyonce and Andre 3000, you got Lana Del Rey, you got Jack White. Already, that first side is crazy. There's Brian Ferry, Gautier. You got, of course, No Church in the Wild from Watch the Throne, Florence and the Machine, the XX, Sia. It's a pretty stacked soundtrack front to back, and there's a reason why this was very hard to find. But glad they did a repress of it, because I was not going to buy the $500 version that existed before, but happy to have this now. Also, good movie. Good book, good movie. Yeah. What's up, John? Glad you made it to the stream, man. I feel like you always catch them at the very end, but by me starting later, I suppose that that fixed that little snafu. So, glad to have you here. All right, let's see. What is in this flimsy mailer? This mailer is disappointing. Oh, nice. This is a repress of a classic Brazilian record. I got, not nice. We're talking damage, folks. Very disappointing. Although, wait a minute. Am I excited now again? This looks like it's a early pressing of this versus a repress. This has been a roller coaster. Stick with me, folks. So there is a great record by João Donato called Lugar Kum. Really, really good kind of Brazilian funk, Brazilian jazz. Great record. João Donato is pretty awesome across the board, but this is one of my favorites of his. It was introduced to me by the great Matt Mena, a.k.a. Goose, and for his birthday, I got him a repress of this, because there is a repress that's hard to find in the States, but I found a decent import on Discogs, and I grabbed it. And then I was like, I want this record too. So I bought another repress, I thought, but this is not the repress, I don't think. There's no barcode on this. There's a split on the spine. The disc is kind of popping out. But I'm very confused as to the fact that I ordered a repress, and this looks like an early press of this, which would be crazy because that's very hard to find. So I don't know if they just screwed up and had it listed as a original. I gotta look this up. This might be like a... I don't even know. This is an exciting mystery for me to figure out after the fact. But it does come in one of these, which is kind of a very Brazilian record move. So, could be a first press. I doubt it. I don't think so. That'd be crazy. But it says Series de Luxo, which means it is probably... I think it's probably an early Brazilian press or Brazilian press. So that's rad. I will live with a seam split to get a Brazilian press of that record. So I don't know what's going on. If I didn't have y'all sitting here staring at me, I would probably look it up right now. But I will save that as a treat for post-live stream Matt. Could be a very happy accident, which would be awesome. So things like that don't happen very often, but when they do, you gotta not look a gift horse in the mouth. So definitely not the repress. That jacket is way too thin. There's not even a spine. Here we go. Yes, my dude, Mr. Dave Depper. Dave Depper is the guitarist and other things within the band of Death Cab for Cutie. Also, an acquaintance of mine now. I don't want to say friend because we're not friends. That would be... I'd be lying to you. But I like him a lot. He comes in my shop every now and again. He lives in Portland, and he is so sweet. Nicest dude. We chopped it up about Air once upon a time, and I forgot he had actually covered all of Moon Safari as part of Turntable Kitchen's album cover series, where they have an artist cover one of their favorite records. Some of the more iconic ones from that series are Ben Gibbard of Death Cab doing Bandwagon-esque by Teenage Fan Club, Yumi Zuma doing What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis, and now we have Dave covering all of Moon Safari. So I picked this up because I didn't own it, and I love Moon Safari, and this is supposed to be I thought this was supposed to be the splatter variant or something. This looks like glow in the dark. Another mystery for me to solve. Why is everyone sending me the wrong record? This is very bizarre. But that's why I got to do these live streams, because you need to be able to have a window of time that you can complain to PayPal if they decide to be jerks about fixing their problems. So either way, I'm going to hopefully check and see if this is the variant I ordered. I don't want glow in the dark if that's the case. If it's just Coke bottle clear, that's fine, but you can't really tell unless you do the experimentation. But this record's really good, and Dave's version of it is really good, and I'm going to hopefully get him to sign this next time he comes in the shop. So, shout out to Dave. I just saw Dave perform at Kilby Block Party. He did both. He was in both Death Cab's set and the Postal Service set, which is crazy. All right, let's keep this train rolling. I think there's 26 records to open, so strap in. If you don't have a beer yet, it's Monday. What are you doing? Grab yourself a beverage. Grab yourself a beverage and sit down and relax. All right, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. This is something that has been difficult for me to not open waiting to do a live stream. This is the latest and greatest from the Cherry Tree Fan Club, which is the National, my favorite band's fan club. Every year, what they do is they put out a vinyl comp. Sometimes it'll be one of the live shows that the National did on vinyl. Sometimes it'll be a compilation of live tracks. And this is a compilation of live tracks from 2023's tour. Awesome selection of tracks. So, I mean, right here, starting off with the most surprising song that they played on the tour from their second album, an album that they largely pretend doesn't exist anymore. They played an absolute B-side from that record that is not anything most fans of the band know unless you're a super fan. Patterns of Fairy Tales, actually one of my top 3 songs on that record. I was devastated that they played it twice on the tour and I did not get to see it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They're playing a deep cut like that. But the next best thing is having it immortalized on this compilation. So we got Pounds of Fairy Tales, we got Baby Will Be Fine, which I also didn't get on the tour, which is an Alligator standout, one of my favorite album ever. Smoke Detectors from the newest record, Laugh Track, really, really good, kind of like grungy, post-punky, kind of aggressive, dark song for them, really good. And then Cherry Tree, which is an amazing song from the Cherry Tree EP. I did get to see that on the tour, which was a very special treat. And then side B, you got Walk It Back, Tour Manager, I'll Still Destroy You, and Space Invaders. So Walk It Back and I'll Still Destroy You are from Sleep Well Beast. Not my favorite National record. I do love it, but it's definitely at the bottom of my list. So I do like those two songs. Those are two of my favorites from the album, so that's fine. Tour Manager, solid track from their newest output, and Space Invader, one of my favorite songs they put out last year. So a solid selection of 8 songs from the boys. Very, very excited to give this a listen. I'll probably listen to this today. And then it looks like it came with a slip mat and some kind of fridge magnet set. Oh, these are going on the fridge downstairs for sure. For sure, those are going on the fridge downstairs. All right, I'll stop gushing about the National and keep going. Check out Mobius Band's cover of Baby Will Be Fine. Ooh, I did not know that anybody ever covered that song publicly. Can you send that to me on Instagram? I would love to listen to that. To say it's better than the original, though, that's a little sacrilegious. It's a little tough. I don't know. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? That's a strong statement. But if it is, I'll be very excited. All right. Vanessa Fernandez, I Want You. I picked this up because Vanessa Fernandez has an amazing voice, and it's just a ton of covers that she did, and it's an audiophile pressing. So here are the classifications of this. So 180 gram, which, as you know, for the way I view that is, it's, that's just marketing. Double 45 RPM audiophile, pressed at RTI, mastered by Bernie Grundman. Original 30 IPS analog masters. No auto-tune was used in the making of the album, which is funny to say. And 100% analog, which is awesome. So on here, she covers so many great songs. She covers I Want You. She covers Billie Jean, Creep, I Will Survive. Lots of really, really good songs on here, and Vanessa Fernandez has a really nice voice, so I'm excited to give this a listen on my system here if it is worthy of an album outside of its audiophile qualifications. But had to pick that up. Pretty cool. Here we have a black mailer, and we know what that means. This is the Interscope Vinyl Collective. I don't know which one this is from there. I feel like there might be 2 of them in here. It's been so long since I've done it. Difficult to open. All right. Ow. Okay, we got it. And this one is getting stuck inside the thing. This one is Helmet, Betty. Helmet is a band that I don't really have a lot of knowledge of. I know them, obviously, but I've never really listened to their music with any kind of, intentionality. So I'm excited to hear this. Isn't it like, Helmet, isn't it kind of grungy, punky, alt-rock? I don't know. Someone tell me if I'm off base here. But yeah, Helmet is not a band that I've really spent a lot of time with. But, it's one of those things where I'm going to give it a listen. If I love it, I'll keep it. If not, someone at the Too Many Record store will be stoked to probably grab this. So, don't have a lot to say about Helmet, but it was obviously chosen for a reason. They're not going to press something terrible. The Interscope Club has been kind of hitting a lot of home runs. There's a good, good, bad, and the ugly. There's not a lot of bad. There is some ugly in the sense that, they didn't really do much with their Downward Spiral release. I feel like they could have very much done something more creative with that, and they didn't, which was a huge disappointment for people that would like a cool colored variant of a Nine Inch Nails record that doesn't exist. But, yeah. This is a record that I ordered because one of my regulars told me that this band is incredible, and it's really, really hard to find. And I don't know much about this band, but he said I would like it, so I put it on my want list. And then it popped up for $50 to $100 less than it usually goes for. So I grabbed it because I want to listen to it. And if I don't like it again, it becomes a cool record for the shop. So this is the Asteroids Galaxy Tour Fruit. I think it's kind of like indie, like dancey, poppy. I know it's very, very rare. It goes for triple digits. Usually, I got it for less than that, thankfully. They did say the disc was a little messed up, but looking at it here, doesn't look that bad. And some light scratches here and there, but with a nice degrit, that might come out nice. So, yeah, excited to give this a listen, see if it is something I like, according to Ryan, one of my regulars, my buddy. And if not, this becomes something very cool for the shop. So we will go from there. All right, let's keep going. There's still quite a few packages down here. Nick, I do agree with you. They didn't do much with the Billie Eilish release. The cover was kind of cool, but yeah. Some are better than others, but in terms of the selection of albums that they're picking, they're definitely hitting home runs in terms of putting out records that people want. They can do more with certain things. Like The Chronic was an amazing first one because, first of all, that record just absolutely rules, but they did a cool alternate art with foil and all that jazz. So, this is cool. So this is a gentleman that goes by Message to Bears, and this is kind of a EP that he put out called EP1. I've had it on my want list for a long time. Message to Bears is it's kind of like an ambient folk project. Really kind of overwhelmingly pretty if you're into North Americans and William Tyler and things like that. I feel like this would be up your alley. And this is EP1 on red vinyl, and it also was signed by with a little smiley face, which is cute. This has been on my want list for over a year, and it just popped up for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and it was very reasonably priced. They priced it at like the Discogs median, even though it hadn't sold in a long time. So it was one of those lucky grabs on Discogs where it was just like, I think this person could have gotten more for this from the right fan, but I'm glad that I was able to kind of grab it in time. So super rad, stoked to have that. Definitely check out Message to Bears if you don't know them. I think I know what this is. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. Cortex. Tropical Bleu. This is absolutely stellar French jazz funk record that should be famous on the merit of the music alone, but is famous mostly because of how many people have sampled this album. Everyone from Madlib to Tyler the Creator to MF Doom, who famously sampled it on One Beer from Food, and it's an iconic sample that makes the song and makes it one of the most memorable songs he's ever done, in my opinion. But I just had the absolute pleasure of seeing Cortex on their mini kind of like reunion tour thing that they were doing. They came through Portland. Such a good show. Just so charming. The front man, he's so funny. He's very French. He doesn't speak that much English, but he was very charming and fun to listen to, and the music was amazing. The female vocalist they brought on, I forget her name, but she had an absolutely stunning voice, nailed all of these difficult vocal parts, made them her own in a good way. And this is the tour press. The tour press that they brought to Portland sold out before I got to the merch table, which is crazy. So I'm lucky that I snagged this when it was briefly on their site. In my head, I was like, I'm just going to buy it on their site because I don't want to have to deal with carrying a record around all night. But I wouldn't even have had the chance. It would have been gone. So if you don't know Cortex Tropical Bleu, this record is 100% worth you like listening to at the very least, but you'll recognize some of the songs if you're a big hip-hop head for sure. And original presses of this go for almost $1,000, which is nuts if it's clean. Blakely, thank me, but thank Mr. Matt Mena too. He had a part in that as well. What's up, Goose? Goose, I don't know if you just joined the stream, but I there's an interesting Lugar Kum conundrum that I'm going to have to solve later. You should check it out if you weren't here. Kind of a fascinating little chin scratcher. All right, let's keep going. All right. 2 records. The Academy is almost here. Really, really good pop punk. I didn't own this record, and I found it for a really good price. It's one of the Fueled by Ramen was doing all of these like reissue series, and they're all on silver vinyl, and it's like a 25-year thing. They all sound good, except the one that needs it the most. Cute Is What We Aim For. That pressing is all messed up. The entire run got messed up. The pitch warbles, the volume drops in and out. It's horrible, which sucks because the original press is hard to find. But we recently in the store got a 7-inch box set that Fueled by Ramen did, including The Academy Is, and I forgot how much I loved them, so I wanted to track this down, and thankfully the silver press is still quite affordable. Also, from the same seller, I was able to snag the Yousef Days experience live from Malibu. I am so in on Yousef Days these days, no pun intended. So talented. Just the best kind of like soulful jazz funk, like just if you like Anderson .Paak, like definitely check out Yousef Days, and not quite the same, but in the same stratosphere. Such a good. The other night threw this on. My buddy Chaz and I, shout out to Chaz, who's probably never gonna see this video. We're eating some dinner on his balcony. It was a beautiful evening, and I threw this on. It was just such a nice evening. The food was good, the company was good, and the music was incredible. And this album is just so good. This Live from Malibu, it's so chill and so beautiful. So if you like Yousef Days, check that out. Supposedly new music from Lorde dropping soon. Thoughts. My thoughts are that I'm a very, very, very casual Lorde fan, so I don't really care. I thought Solar Power was not a good record. I only recently listened to Melodrama in full, and I did like it. But yeah, Lorde is not really my bag, so I'm not really. It's not really on my radar that much. Unless people are saying this is the best thing she's ever done, I probably won't listen to it because there's only so much time in the day, y'all, and there's so much other music that is commanding my attention. Melodrama is very good. To me, I wouldn't use the term masterpiece, but I know that I might be in the minority with that opinion. I know a lot of people love that record. I enjoyed it a lot, but, you know. Do I have Forever Changes by Love? I love that record. We actually just put a copy of that out in the shop. It is, I don't know why this camera keeps tilting. Also, shout out to Richard Houghton, the GOAT. Sly vinyl for these sick tees. We just put a copy in the shop of Forever Changes by Love. A first press. It plays like VG, but a first press is awesome. So good. I did see the early leak of the new Magdalena Bay album going up for sale, which that gets me very excited. I almost wore my Magdalena Bay hat today to the stream, but I decided to go with the National because, come on. So I've not heard this record yet. This is Cindy Lee, What's Tonight to Eternity. Cindy Lee got a lot of acclaim lately for, what is the name of that record? The one that everyone's bugging out about. Can someone get it before I get it on my phone? What is the Cindy Lee record that everyone's freaking out about? Diamond Jubilee. I got it. Diamond Jubilee is an incredible 2-hour record that Cindy Lee put out, and it's just nuts. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful, unique, singular. Nothing like it that I've ever heard. Haven't even finished the whole record. It's so long, but from what I've heard of it, it's beautiful. It does not have a vinyl release yet. However, I wanted to grab this Cindy Lee record because it was out of print, I believe, and there was a repress. And if it's anything as good as Diamond Jubilee, I will love it. So it's one of the ones I took a chance on. I don't know this record personally, but the fact that it was out of print and now it's not is always nice to kind of jump on it, lest you miss it and you are stuck without it forever. Do I have any Bjork vinyl? No, someone was in the shop looking for Bjork the other day. Bjork vinyl is hard to get because whenever we get any of her records, they sell like instantly and then they're gone. So, yes, Yousef Kamal. I actually unboxed, or I showed off a Yousef Kamal record in my last video I did. That was records I took home from the shop. Also very, very good. Here we go. Let's get some Animal Collective going on. All right. What do we have here? So, we have the first ever colored vinyl edition. Is this foil jacket? It's a foil jacket, too. Come on. Of one of the most iconic indie album covers of all time, Merryweather Post Pavilion by Animal Collective, a seminal album from my youth, an album that was on rotation in college more than most albums, and this is the first ever colored vinyl. It is on translucent green and bluish. Bluish. I see what they did there because that's a song on the record. Reflective foil jacket, and it comes with a bonus 10-inch of My Girls and From a Beach, the BBC sessions, which is really cool. Anything from this album era is worth listening to, including the Fall Be Kind EP, which is also stellar. And then I thought that they were going to be shipping... the Sung Tongs live. Was that separate? That might have been a separate thing. Either way, that's awesome. And Animal Collective rule. So, if you haven't heard Merryweather Post Pavilion yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go listen to it. Like, immediately. Alright. Is this Still Woozy? Still Woozy, Love Seat. I have a love-hate relationship with Still Woozy. Not hate. Hate is strong. That's not the word I meant. I have a love-indifference relationship with Still Woozy. I think some of his stuff is really, really chill and fun, and some of it's extremely forgettable. But people come in the shop and ask about Still Woozy quite a bit. I figured it was worth grabbing the new record just to hear if I liked it. If not, it will sell in the shop. But Still Woozy does kind of this cool bedroom pop kind of... R&B soulful thing. It's pretty good. Is it amazing? No, but people love it, and nice to have it should I not love it. I have not heard anything from that record, but it was one of the things where I was like, this is probably a smart buy, just to be able to have it in case I don't like it. All right. Y'all can take a second to hit the like button. In my head, that makes YouTube like me more. I don't think that's the case, though. YouTube absolutely loathes my channel and has buried it under the tombs of the vinyl community, never to be spoken of or seen again. But perhaps your like could change that. Perhaps. I don't know. But it's worth a shot, right? This I just got because well, I got it for a few reasons. I do like the rapper and producer, but this cover is insane. So this is Stone Temple Pyrex, obviously a visual parody of Stone Temple Pilots' Purple, and this is Estinac and Future Wave. Future Wave is a really, really good underground hip hop producer. I would put him up there with this new wave of producers that are coming out and producing things like Big Ghost. I would put Future Wave right up there with Big Ghost in terms of like someone to be keeping an eye out for. And this is, I guess, some kind of splatter, and it's number 7 of 100, which is cool. But this cover is just so good. Stone Temple Pyrex. I love it. I just love it. I love parody of album art. For me, that's like top tier. So, yeah, love that. Have not heard that record, but Future Wave has not let me down thus far as a producer. So at the very least, even if the verses are whack, the beats are going to be sick. That's how I, yeah. If you just joined the chat, welcome. We still have a handful of records to open. I haven't done a Q&A yet, really. If you want to ask me a question, I will stop my unboxing if you send me a super chat. Which is basically a tip for a creator. It'll pop up in a big, colorful thing, and I'll appreciate it because it's nice to feel appreciated as a YouTuber or whatever I am these days. So this is actually a spoiler for for my video I'm putting out at the start of next year, but it's wide enough news that I think people that are into this stuff are probably going to expect this to be the case. A record that I was looking for in my Grail list this year got its first ever repress, so of course I ordered it. This is Anaf Frango Electrico, Little Electric Chicken Heart. Came out originally in 2019 in Brazil and Japan only, and then it was very hard to find. And then I guess she achieved, oh my god, Mr. Fantano. Fantano got on the hype sticker. That is, man, if I could ever get on the hype sticker of a record, I would feel like I made it. That's huge. So, according to the Needle Drop, Anaf Frango Electrico's authentically vintage fusion of chamber pop, rock, samba, and jazz is a real blast. Thanks, Fantano. Really well articulated there. But this is a great record. Her most recent record that I can never remember the name of, with like the tigers on the front, is so good. Like a lot of classic Brazilian sounds mixed with some danceable, funky stuff. Very, very memorable. And this record is no Fantano. Damn, Nick, tell us how you really feel. I hope you never say that about me one day, bro. But yeah, the genres are MPB, Música Popular Brazil, pop, indie, samba, and rock, and I am glad I don't have to pay an absurd amount of money for this. I'm glad it got a reissue. Everybody can and should buy this, and yeah, it's on blue vinyl. What more can you ask for? So the 35 of you that are in here have a spoiler for my Grail video. I did get at least one of my Grails I was looking for, so spoiler alert. But there were 6 others on the list. Do I have them? Will I get them? Who's to say? Gotta stick around. Gotta keep the mystique going. Alright, here's one that, if this is what I think it is, Nick, I hope you secured this, or if you wanted it. I'm assuming you did, but let's see if this is what I think it is. The packaging is immaculate on this thing. Wow, this is bomb-proof. Almost just cut my finger. That would not have been a fun way to continue this stream. Oh my gosh. Nope, it's gonna still make me... I feel like I'm in the CIA right now, defusing a bomb. Is that what the CIA does? What is that? What is any? Does anyone know anything anymore? I don't know anything. Okay. I am so close to get to unearthing this from its prison. All the way from Japan, we have 2 records from Big Love, which they tend to do these limited versions of other records with an OB strip that sell out really quickly, and I was able to snag, I got 2 of them. I got 2 in order to save on shipping, because shipping from Japan is brutal, and they were kind enough to combine shipping. So, first one is Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the new excellent LP from everyone's favorite soft-voiced / insane belting crooner, Billie Eilish. I really like this record. I, as a whole record, like this a lot more than I liked Happier Than Ever, even though I still think her best song is the song Happier Than Ever. But that record had a little bloat on me, like I said last time. I know Nick strongly disagrees, which is fine. Discourse is the beauty of music discussion. But I love Billie's first record front to back, and Happier Than Ever, if it was like 5 songs shorter, would have been another absolute home run, but a little fatiguing to listen to for me. This record is not too long, not too short. It is the right length. It is amazing vocally. The songs all have their own distinct sound to them, and there's a song on here called The Greatest, I believe it's called. Is that the name of the song? Nick, back me up. The Greatest. That song is in her top 3 songs she's ever done too. The vocal performance on there and the overall vibe of that song is just absolutely transcendent. So excited to have this version. I don't know if it's on Eco Vinyl. I think it's just on black. I could be wrong. I'll have to check it out later. But yes, love the Obi strip on this. Super cool. Was it worth the import? Who's to say? Do I think that people are going to be overpaying for this for a while? Probably. Although this isn't even a real traditional Obi. This is one of the cap Obis that I hate. That's unfortunate. I hate when they're like the Vinyl Me Please style like end cap Obis that just like fall off. Traditional Obis should go around and you can slide them on, and then it's not a pain in the ass to put back in a sleeve. So unfortunate, but still super cool to own. I had yet to pick up a version of this record, so this is a pretty cool one to own, I think. And then the second record I grabbed from them that I was surprised was still in stock is an EP. Should I be able to get it out of its bag? Man, they really pack these like tanks, truly. An EP by Glass Beams called Mahal. Glass Beams is the latest entry in the psychedelic kind of Eastern European, Indian style sounds that bands like Alten Gun and Khruangbin are kind of pioneering with these kind of like, like a flair for world music mixed in with interesting kind of psychedelic guitar. Glass Beams are the latest band to be doing it and blowing up, and Mahal is a really nice EP that they put out. So thought this was pretty nice to get with the Obi strip on there, and again, it cut down on shipping, so I believe it's on orange vinyl if I remember correctly too. So if you have not listened to Glass Beams and you like Khruangbin, personally I don't think it reinvents the wheel. I think that there is starting to be an oversaturation slightly of Khruangbin imitators, but I think that Glass Beams are unique enough where I think they can coexist in that space and still carve their own path. So if you have not heard them, yeah, Nick, definitely check them out for sure. All right, still going. Still going. At the end of this stream, I will also give a update on the TMR label, good and bad, and there's both. This is something I'm really excited to get in. I don't know, Dorothy, if you're watching, but if you are, prepare to be jealous. This is a night with the Elegance. The Elegance is one of my favorite doo-wop bands, and I wanted to see what they had on vinyl, and their big song is called Little Star, but there's a bunch of doo-wop classics on here. You got Ram-a-Lima Ding Dong, you got Little Boy Blue, Lion Sleeps Tonight, The Wanderer, We Used to Love Me Tomorrow, Peggy Sue, just a bunch of classics, but then of course their absolute banger of a doo-wop song, Little Star. So this is a pressing from I think the 80s perhaps, and it's on red vinyl, which is cool, which means if it's from that era, it's either going to sound like butt or it's going to sound great. But excited to listen to this. Look at these guys. The Elegance. So good. My favorite part about doo-wop is matching suits. Matching suits is such a good aesthetic, especially suits that look like this, that are crazy. So, yes, very excited to own this. There was only one copy available, I think, of this red version, and I just jumped on it because I was like, this is really cool. And doo-wop has been something that's been an important part of my life because of my father, who turned me on to doo-wop when I was very young, and then my high school friends also happened to love doo-wop, and all of us bonded over that, which is a very strange thing for 15-year-olds to do. But the Elegance are wonderful, and I'm excited to give this a listen, and hopefully it sounds good. What's up, Sully? What's up, Eddie? Welcome to the stream. You're catching the last fourth of it, but at least you're here, you know? All right, almost a clean break. Almost a full clean break. And here we have something glorious, in my opinion, something that makes me happy. Persona 4 Golden! Persona, as y'all know, one of my favorite game soundtracks. All the games absolutely bang. I have a box set of Persona 1 through 5 on vinyl. This is Persona 4 Golden, which was a kind of like a remaster of the game, which did have alternate music. remastered stuff and kind of a few different tracks here and there. So as a giant Persona fan, I had to grab this version as well as the P4 standard. Liking the die cut here on the cover. You can't really tell probably, but it's die cut, which is nice. I Am 8-Bit did this. Album art by Drew Wise, the GOAT. Drew Wise is amazing, fantastic artist, does a lot of stuff for the gaming community. He also was kind enough to donate a design for a TMR shirt. It was, if you guys are familiar, it's the gray shirt that has like kind of like a very colorful box in the middle with all kinds of images like MF Doom's mask and Daft Punk Discovery logo and all this cool stuff. So shout out to Mr. Drew Wise. So cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I think I know what this is. This looks to me like it's a Dinked edition. Dinked editions are special editions that come from, I believe, the UK of certain records, and they're usually numbered, they're usually a special variant, and they're usually kind of expensive, so I don't always go for them. But this is one that I could not say no to, because it's one of my favorite records. Can anyone guess what it is before I open it? There's too much of a delay lag, I feel like. Anything else in here that I'm missing? Let's see. Just a packing slip. Alright. Here we have Sufjan Stevens' 7 Swans. Do I already own multiple copies of this record? Yes. Do I care? No. This record is absolute perfection. One of the best indie folk records, OAT, of all time. Originally released 2004, the Dinked edition is a cream and black Corona vinyl. Beautiful. Let's actually pop this puppy open because I do want to see. I do want to see what am I paying for with this Dinked stuff. So there's also a flexi disc with bonus tracks, origami paper to make your own 7 swans, and a special embossed jacket. Ooh, that swan is quite embossed, as are the... See, the Interscope Vinyl Club, take note. Take note. Did I see there's a Sufjan musical on Broadway? I did see, and I would love to see it. I'm going to New York in September for Pearl Jam, but I think it's going to be no longer running unless it gets extended. So I have a friend who saw it, said it was phenomenal. Okay. Kind of underwhelming, but kind of cool. Like, ooh, I like it around the label, actually. Around the label, that looks really cool. And this side's pretty sick. So, yes. Awesome, beautiful, great colorway for this album, in my opinion. Hopefully this sounds good. Asthmatic Kitty Records have a very bad track record of sounding terrible in terms of, like, the pressing quality. And here's the flexi disc, which has some paper with it. Oh, this is the origami paper. Got you. So, flexi discs are kind of more of a novelty for me. I don't really spin them, but I went dancing with my sister, and Waste of What Your Kids won't have. I know I went dancing with my sister. I believe that was a 7-inch from the original press, but Waste of What Your Kids Won't Have. I feel like I don't know that track. So very excited if there's a new Sufjan track from this era that I have yet to hear. So, yes, Dinked edition so far. Unless it sounds like terrible, this was a good purchase, and excited to relive the beauty of this record. This record is just so flawless, front to back, every song. No notes. No notes. All right, this mailer's having some weird corner things, so let's see. Let's see. What's happening? So this is a record that I don't know much about, but I got it because I had it on my want list because of who this person has worked with a good amount. So this is Vegan, Vegyn, and the album is called Only Diamonds Cut Diamonds. It is getting increasingly harder to find this record. I think this is some kind of mixture of like electronic and hip-hop beats from what I know. But Vegan has worked with Frank Ocean a bunch, and a lot of other artists as well. So when I saw this pop up on Discogs for what I perceived to be a very fair price, I jumped on it as one of those records that I am going to listen to, hopefully love, and if I do not love it, this is something very cool for the store. We have a lot of hip-hop heads that come in the shop, so we will see what I think of it. If anyone knows this record, let me know if you like it. But yes, vegan, only diamonds cut diamonds. I believe quite out of print, hard to find. Very cool. All right, a few more to go. Few more to go. All right, yes, this is Free Throw, self-titled, and Lavender Town. This is another band that someone that's a regular at my store told me to get into. I'm not super familiar with Free Throw, but Lavender Town, reference to the OG Pokemon. All right, I'm in. I'll give it a listen. This is 2 other EPs smashed together into one release. Cameron, love that vegan album. Cool. What can you describe it for me, like what it sounds like? I just knew that he was a Frank Ocean collaborator, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And it's rare, so I got it for a good price. But tell me more about like what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Free Throw either, but I just know that this is a lot of people are into them right now, and I don't know them, so excited to keep music discovery going. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. So, this is a record that Goose showed me as well. This is, kind of IDM-ish. I love IDM. That's great. This is Parker Lewis. This is not the Wax Mage, as far as I know. Oh, wait, it is the Wax Mage. It is the Wax Mage. It just, I guess this is back before Wax Mage had to put their label on everything. Interesting. So Parker Lewis, this is kind of like a nice R&B, lo-fi, soulful record, little indie. Very, very good. It's called All Good Things. And Matt showed me this record, and I loved it. And I was like, I'm going to put the Wax Mage on my want list, just in case it ever pops up. And it did. It popped up for like a very fair price. Like, probably what it would have retailed for. And got this beautiful Wax Mage. Early Wax Mage, like I said, because it doesn't have the Wax Mage label on the B-side like they all do now. But beautiful. It's like an eyeball. It's like a crazy eyeball. Super rad. And I love the kind of watermelon-y colors. I actually have a Wax Mage that looks like this from Sly Vinyl from the band Way Yes. They did one. I think they called it the Watermelon Nebula. Same kind of vibe. But, man, anytime you get a Wax Mage, it's sick. So, yes, I'm excited to give this one a spin and re-listen to it. It's been a minute since Matt showed it to me, but yes, very, very cool music. If you don't know Parker Lewis, that's a great album to start with. I think you will dig it. All right, these next two actually go together, so I'm going to open them up together to be able to talk about them at once. Just unbelievable repress that happened that no one could have seen coming. No one could have seen this coming. But everybody in the vinyl community now gets to benefit from this. So, okay, I'm just going to obligatorily say right now I'm not a fan of these movies or books at all. They are not my vibe. I don't care about them. I've tried to watch them before and I did not like them. However, these soundtracks absolutely bang for days. So good. A lot of the songs on these soundtracks, and of course I'm talking the soundtrack, not the score, and could not care less about the score. The soundtracks are so good, and they're full of artists where the curation of the soundtracks of these records are stellar, but not only that, a lot of these songs are only exclusive to these soundtracks, so you can only have got them if you had these. So not only are they good listens front to back, they're the only way to get some of these tracks. So for the OG Twilight, Muse Supermassive Black Hole is not exclusive, but you got Paramore Decode, there's Linkin Park, there's Mute Math, a special mix of it for this soundtrack, Perry Farrell, Collective Soul, another Paramore, Iron and Wine, like, come on. So good, front to back, plus some more other ones that I didn't mention, but really, really solid soundtrack. And then you have this one, New Moon, that is just out of control good. Death Cab for Cutie, Band of Skulls, Tom York. Likely, The Killers, Muse, Bon Iver and St. Vincent, Grizzly Bear. Wait, am I crazy? I thought that Vampire Weekend was on this one with Jonathan Lowe. Am I crazy? Is that on a different one? Which soundtrack was Vampire Weekend on, and why don't I have that on vinyl? That being said, still such good soundtracks. Just really, really nuts songs back to back to back to back. So, what is going on? Yeah, where is the Vampire Weekend song? Jonathan Lowe. That was only in Twilight as far as I know. Very strange. But yes, these records went for hundreds of dollars. And I'm not talking like 200. Like, they were selling for $300 to $500 regularly anytime that they sold, because A, the fandom is crazy, but B, even people that aren't into Twilight like myself wanted them for these songs. So it's on the Eclipse soundtrack, so now they have to do Eclipse on vinyl too. Okay. Yeah, Grizzly Bear with Victoria from Beach House on backup vocals. Yeah, just like unbelievable versions of songs on here. So I will ride or die for these soundtracks. I could live without the movies or the books. Not my bag. If you like them, that's awesome. That's awesome for you, and I'm happy for you. But for me, I'm fine with just having these great soundtracks. All right, that is everything that I've unboxed today. Before y'all leave, if you're interested, I will give you an update about the TMR label. 3 things to mention. The first being that the Goose Don't Be Frightened record, which is the last record I did with Crates, is still in a form of limbo. I have been in communication with Crates, but they haven't been really giving me a lot of info, which has been the case for over a year. I am not crazy optimistic about what's going on with it, but I will say that they claim that in August they're going to be getting things back on track. If August turns into September and they continue to push it, at that point we might have to all discuss what we have to do to try to get our money back or do whatever we have to do, because Crates as a company is possibly just bankrupt, disappearing. Who knows what's happening? I feel terrible for everybody that bought a copy. I'm still hoping it comes through. So is Goose, so is Laura. We're really all hoping that this happens, but right now we're still in a holding pattern. I'm giving them till the end of August, and if it gets pushed again and they're like, now September, at that point, I'm going to sort of pull the plug on it and just say there's no way that you guys are going to do anything, and we will go from there. But let's all cross our fingers that it happens. On a more positive note, there are 2 TMR-related projects happening, including our first 7-inch record, which is a collaboration with the actor Stephen Kramer Glickman, who is amazing singer, amazing actor and comedian. He was best known from the show Big Time Rush on Nickelodeon. He played Gustavo, a really iconic character in Nickelodeon's history, larger-than-life personality, super funny. He's also just an amazing vocalist. His cover of Gnarls Barkley, Crazy, went hyper viral on TikTok recently, and all of these celebrities and all these people were using it as a sound because it's a gorgeous cover of the song. So Steven has actually covered a song from Big Time Rush that is called Paralyzed, and he asked me, because I knew him as an acquaintance from my LA days, he asked me if I would help put it out on vinyl. So I said, absolutely, this sounds like a cool project. The song is great. He did it in like an emo rock style, so it's like a very, very much up my alley musically, and we're doing a really cool 7-inch that's going to have an etched A-side, and we're doing a wax mage with it. It's going to be super cool. That's going to be, the song's coming out in August. The pre-order is going to come out right when the song comes out, and it should be shipping by the end of September, if not earlier. So really excited for that. Kind of a high-profile project for me. I mean, Steven has millions of followers. People love Steven. So the fact that he asked me to do this was super humbling and exciting, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. He's just the nicest dude ever. Like, he's truly just like a breath of sunshine. Every time I talk to him, he's just so friendly, so funny. So really excited for that. And if this one sells well, maybe we'll do more projects, because he has a lot of other music out there that's fantastic, including a few albums. So we'll see how that goes. And then finally for the label, another kind of crazy high-profile release for me is there's a band called Doc Rocket from late 70s, hard rock band from Washington. Legendary hard rock band. They had a few albums, but they only had one album that was like the one, and copies of that record, it only was pressed the one time in the 70s, go for hundreds of dollars, and it's really hard to find. A lot of demand for it, and through my partnership with James Beach of Northwest Metalworks, we talked to the band and we were like, can we reissue this? Here's our credentials of the stuff that we've issued, and we would love to do it justice and pay homage to the original art, the original kind of jacket, which was this cool like foil jacket, and, you know, treat the music as it should be deserved and restored with, you know, excellent mastering for vinyl and all this jazz. And the band was like, let's do it. First time they've been approached before and they didn't do it. It's the first time that they're ever letting someone repress this record, and it's going to be a joint Too Many Records and Northwest Metalworks release. Such a good hard rock. If you guys like, you know, Thin Lizzy and, you know, hard rock from the 70s and 80s, like, definitely an album you should listen to. I'll be doing a video about that soon in the next couple weeks, talking more about the project, how it came to be, a little more about Doc Rocket as a band. So look forward to that. But two huge things in the pipeline that I'm really excited about, and hopefully three if we lump Goose in, because I really want that record to happen. So also, one more thing. I'm not going to announce it yet, but there might be something around the holidays on the TMR label that's going to be a charity-related record. So I will give more details on that as it gets closer. But yeah, so that's all y'all get today. But hopefully that was a little taste to take you through the week. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me during the live stream and opening records and chatting. I have some series that I'm working on for the channel, like I told you in my last video. Our Goose is getting married end of this month. Our Goose, our wonderful Goose is getting married to his wonderful fiancée Laura, and after that, Goose and I are going to have a little more time to work on this recurring series that I think all of you are going to enjoy, especially those who have been watching the channel since Damn It Sandy. So look forward to that in the future. I'm going to try to keep my head on a swivel as all of these projects are kind of bubbling up, and I'm, you know, keeping the store going and all this stuff. But I appreciate all of you sticking with me after we're nearing the 10 year of TMR. Next year is the 10 year, which is absolutely nuts. So we'll have to figure out something fun to do for that. If you guys have ideas, hit me up. But yeah, 4th of July was really great. Thanks for asking, Nick. Went down to the river, did a little swimming, which is always fun. Yeah. All right. I'm tired now. I'm going to go clean up Box Mountain. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on this Monday afternoon. And I'll do another one of these next time the boxes pile up. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, y'all.